Time series graph. A graph of time series data, which are quantitative data that have been collected at different points in time, such as monthly or yearly. A time series plot is obtained by plotting the time in which a variable is measured on the horizontal axis and the corresponding value of the variable on the vertical axis. Line segments are then drawn connecting the points. Time series plots are very useful in identifying trends in the data over time. Let's take a look at example 3 here. It says drawing a time series plot. The Partisan Conflict Index, also known as PCI, tracks the degrees of political disagreement among U.S. politicians and the federal government. It is found by measuring the frequency of newspaper articles reporting disagreement in a given month. Higher values of the index suggest greater conflict among political parties, Congress, and the President. The data in the table below represent the PIC in March from 1999 to 2017. We want to be able to construct a time series plot of the data, and in what year was the index highest, and in what year was the index lowest. So, the first thing we want to take a look at is we want to plot the points for each year, with the date on the horizontal axis and the Partisan Conflict Index on the vertical axis. So I want you to look down here. We have our years, and so we're starting from 1999 and we're going all the way to 2017. And so this is going to represent our years on the horizontal axis. On the vertical axis is the index. And so how do we determine these numbers? Well, we need to look at the values here. Okay, so it's important to start here at 0, but then the largest number that we end up seeing is 270. So therefore, we're going to go in increments of 50 to go up to 300. So we're going from 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 50, 100 to 200, 200 to 250, and 250 to 300. And then, of course, we're going to title this as Partisan Conflict Index, United States Federal Government. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to plot each point. How do we plot each point? Well, you have the year and then the Partisan Conflict Index. Well, that's our first ordered pair here. So that's going to represent 1999 and 85.87. So it's approximately plotted there. Okay, if we look at 2000, 94.67. Here's 2000, and there's 94.67. And then 2001, 78.23. And then 2002, 86.67. So again, those represent our plotted points. Now, we would continue to plot these, and once you plot them, then you would connect them with a line, to show that you have a time, in this case, time series plot. Now, the question was asked here was to find, okay, in what year was the index the highest? Well, you can look here and you can see that the index was the highest at 2017, so therefore you can see that that is the highest, because the 2017 value was 270.72. So I'll go ahead and highlight that here in green, and therefore that represents the highest. Now, what represents the lowest? Well, we can see that the lowest value of the index is going to be in March 2001, because in March 2001, the lowest value is 78.23. So therefore, this represents the lowest point on the graph.